Hi, everybody. Mary Brown here from the Mystical Musings radio show on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Also, co host of the Psychic Saturday show. If you tuned in earlier today to our broadcast, we were simulcasting for the first time on Facebook. Now, we weren't on camera, but we had I think our logo and kind of a slideshow running, and we was just kind of testing out this new system. So I thought I'd get together with you guys today to kind of share a new Oracle deck that I got recently. And I post a card of the day, as some of you know, every day on our Facebook group for Psychic Talk Radio. And Friday and today, the last 2 days, I've been posting a card from the Sufi Wisdom Oracle by Rassouli. I hope that's how you I hope I'm saying his name correctly, but he's the artist, and then he also created the messages and wrote the guidebook as well, and kind of put it all together. And I'm really kind of excited about this deck. Now, I'm not sure how available it is, because I thought it wasn't really coming out until October 9th, and I had it on pre-order, and ended up getting it earlier this week, so not complaining. I'm always excited when I get something new, but I thought it wasn't coming out till October 9th. Now it comes out from Blue Angel Publishing, and I think in the US, Blue Angel decks usually come to us through US Games. But I could be wrong about that. I should ask. I should ask somebody. You can ask somebody if you're really that interested. But you can find it on Amazon. It comes in pretty sturdy, standard lift top box, and has a 164-page guidebook here. And in the guidebook, the card meanings are arranged alphabetically by the title of the card, and so it's really easy to find, match up the card that you pull with, the larger message, the longer message rather, the more detailed message that Rassouli has written in the guidebook. It's based on Sufi wisdom. So Rassouli chose a few different Sufi mystics who have, a body of work. Some of us, in the West, we're not necessarily all that familiar with the writings of the Sufi mystics. A lot of us are familiar with Rumi, and there is a Rumi Oracle deck out there that was done by, I believe, Alana Fairchild, and the artwork and translations were done by Rassouli for that deck. And then I'm trying to think. The Rumi Oracle is the only one that really comes to mind when it comes to like Sufi wisdom that's been presented to us in this kind of way by way of an Oracle deck. And Rassouli talks in the book. Here, let me get the book. A few pages in the beginning of the book. In the intro, when he talks about what being a Sufi means to him and his experience, and how he's been inspired by the writings and traditions of the great Sufi mystics. Then he has a little, page and a half section of the book talking about how to use the Oracle deck. He doesn't include any card spreads. I don't think it's really necessary anyways for this kind of deck. And then he has this great section here. Let me hold that a little closer. Meet the Mystics, where he gives a little information on each of the mystics whose writings were included in this guidebook and inspiring the Oracle deck, and gives you an idea of when they lived, and some biographical details about their life. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Rumi. Some of us might have heard of Omar Khayyam if we read the Rubaiyat writings, maybe Hafiz, but ultimately, we're not, it's not something thrown at us, in our education normally. We have to go seek it out. So this is a great way to learn more about the mystics, get kind of a flavor, and you might find, that there's some things that really, touch your heart in a way that you want to, do some more research, explore, read more. So I feel like it's it's another aspect of this oracle deck that is not just great for divination, but there's a little bit of a there's some learning going on with this too for a lot of us probably. And the way the meanings are written, they all start with, let me show you one of the cards here. So this one, energy of love, the writing in the larger text is the title of the card and how you would, how it's arranged alphabetically. So you would look up energy of love in the book and find the meaning. And then there's a little, comment underneath that, behold the world through the eyes of love, and then you have the artwork by Rassouli there. You can see that. I hope you can see it well. And then you go in the guidebook. Just let me. Oh, here it is. And in the guidebook, it starts with a quote from one of the Sufi mystics. So in this case, Ansari, Ansari. Really, I don't know how to pronounce any of this. I'm just kind of feeling my way with that. Has a grayscale version of the card artwork, and then a quote. So the quote here for this card by Ansari. Sounds like I'm saying I'm sorry, but it's Ansari. I don't know how to say this really. But the quote is, impoverished is the one who identifies the beloved with trade. Destitute is the one who wants the beloved for status or as a sign of affluence. Foolish is the one who wants to keep the beloved only for the self. It's pretty deep stuff there. And so then you can go back to that Meet the Mystics part of the book and read about Ansari. So he lived from 1006 to 1088. I'm assuming that's in the Common Era. He doesn't really say. Also known as Kajej Abdullah. Probably not pronouncing that correctly either. He wrote several books about mysticism, philosophy, and Islam in Farsi and Arabic. He was born in Herat, which is why he is known as the Pious of Herat. Ansari was the originator of a literary style called litanies, munajat, a form of rhythmic prose that is intimate invocation addressed to God. Ansari's famous work, Manazil as-Sarin, a guide to the maqamat or spiritual stations of the Sufi path, became fundamental to the development of Sufi concepts. So, clearly, because I'm not sure in the pronunciation of any of that, it's somebody that I'm not familiar with, and now I'm interested. Now I might look more up about this person, and I really think that that's kind of what the purpose, in a sense, was, or part of the reason that Rassouli did this deck is to, give us some exposure, to some of the, great mystics that inspired him along his path. So, and then after the quote from the mystic that goes with the artwork, that goes with the message written on the card, you have like about almost 2 pages of Rassouli's, message, really, what he feels the card is about, what the message is about. And then at the end of each of these, he gives a different mantra for each card. So with this, what did I do with the card? Oh, Energy of Love card. The mantra is, I am open to and aware of the rising energy of love. I am awake to the thrill of feeling the beloved everywhere. I rejoice and celebrate the beauty and wonder of being awakened by love. So, it's great. He gives you a lot of information to work with, information about the mystic that inspired the each of these cards, and then also, what his interpretation is, and also a mantra to work with. So it's really like a lovely deck. Let me just go over some of the details. So the guidebook, about 164 pages. The last couple pages of that, or more just information on other decks that Blue Angel has coming out. Sturdy lift top box. And cards are a bit bigger. They're a bit oversized. So here I have this compared to this. This is probably what most of us think of as standard oracle card size. This one is the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. And so you can see the Sufi Wisdom Oracle is just slightly wider, not very much, but it is taller. And then if you compare that to an average tarot deck, like say the Rider-Waite-Smith, here I have the cards still in the box, and you can see, these cards are a lot bigger even than, the cards while they're in the box there. So, but that being said, I think that the larger size does serve the artwork. Definitely you can really enjoy it more. It's like having 44 little pieces of cards. There's 44 cards in the deck. The card stock is sturdy. It's got a nice matte finish. It's not sticky. They don't slide too much. It's not too slick. It's not too sticky. It's not sticky at all, really. And they're sturdy. They're sturdy, but there's still flexibility. And they're easy to shuffle. I'll demonstrate right now. I shuffle, as maybe you can hear. There you go. And they're not, they seem like they're going to hold up pretty well. And I have notoriously little hands, and these are oversized cards, and I'm not having a problem with it. So if that's something that you're worried about, don't worry about it. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick flip through these cards, because like I said, I posted 2 of them, already this week, and I'm going to be using this deck next Saturday on the Mystical Musings show. We're going to also be simulcasting live on Facebook, and you can, okay, so let me just take a quick aside. So what we're doing is the chat room, instead of being on psychictalk.net/live where it usually is, we're going to use the Facebook comments on the live stream post in the Psychic Talk radio Facebook group for the chat room, right? So instead of going to the chat room, you would just go to the Facebook post and post your comments there, including if you want a free mini reading, etc. We'll find you there, and you can get a reading that way. And then also you can always call into the show, and we definitely, we always get that number out. So, and my topic next Saturday is spirit guides. So I expect it'll be a fun show, and this just had like a spirit guide kind of feel to me, even though Rassouli doesn't mention that at all. But so just let's see more of these cards here, and you can see, like, the messages to me are a little bit different. The artwork is beautiful and really varied. So even though it's like the same artist, he calls his style of art fusion art. So, and you can see he fuses kind of a lot of different elements and a lot of different styles. He uses color in different ways. Like, you look at this card, I love, it says fine wine, W-H-I-N-E. So he has a sense of humor too. But it's like reminiscent almost of Cubism, right? And then you have something like that where it looks like very abstract. And then, something like this, totally different. So what I love, and then look, very representational there, but beautiful. And his use of colors, the flow of just the flow of light, the flow of color in these cards are just gorgeous. And some of them are just, it's almost as if it's a deck where you had, different artists, collaborating, and, it's not. You just have Rassouli's fusion of art and color and flow and style and, technique, I would argue, as well. It's just beautiful. And, the messages are a little bit different too. It doesn't have like, he's avoided a lot of cliches. And what I mean by that is, it's not like, what do I want to say here? It's not like oracle cards always have the same message, but I can tell you I have several different decks that were published over, at different times by different people, even different publishing companies, different artists, different writers, or whatever. And I'll have cards that have the exact same message on them, like let go, or trust your intuition, or things like that I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's cliche, I guess is what I want to say. Sorry. Look at that. Just doing a quick run through here so you can kind of see the artwork and decide, if this deck might be for you. Because I'm telling you, this deck is definitely for me. I love it. And I have some of the other decks that he, did the artwork for, like, well, I don't have the Rumi Oracle, isn't that funny? But, I know he did the artwork for that. But I have the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle deck by Kelly Sullivan Walden. He did the art for that, and that's a beautiful deck. And I also have the Dream Oracle by Kelly Sullivan Walden that he also did the art for that. And so and that's really, I think, what really got me interested in him as an artist. And when I saw he was doing a deck himself, I was just like super excited about it, because I just knew these cards were going to be beautiful, and I knew the messages would be interesting, and I didn't expect the guidebook to be so wonderful too. But I mean, this guy is amazing, and you can check him out on YouTube. I've watched a couple of videos that he's posted there, and look, see how, you know what I mean? Like, they're all different. Like, that has got like this great kind of Persian motif, I think, in the patterning, and then this, this one kind of reminds me a little bit of Georgia O'Keeffe, I suppose, in a way. But yeah, it's just so fascinating and so interesting. I find him to be such an exciting artist, really. And it's funny because it's through Oracle cards that I discovered him. And I know he's published some other books. There's his book of creativity that I'm probably going to get next. I'm intrigued by it. And I think he even like gives, classes or holds seminars or something. I think he lives in SoCal. But man, he just really impresses me. So I just wanted to share, and we saw that earlier. I think these are just the last two. I think I've gone through all of them. I know I went through that one twice. Hopefully I didn't go through them all twice. But anyway, so there you have it. There is the Sufi Wisdom Oracle deck by Rassouli, published by Blue Angel, and should be available now. I got mine now, and if not, coming out October 9th, I guess. So anyways, hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.